His health improves, but the lies keep growing. Get ready for an exciting ride into Season 2, Episode 9 of Breaking Bad. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more awesome recaps. Walt goes to the hospital with his family for a CT scan to check how he's responding to chemotherapy. The doctor says the results won't be ready for a week, but Walt sees a scan of his lungs and notices a big dark spot. Thinking he doesn't have much time left, and realizing that all the recent bills, plus the money he's paying a lawyer to hide his cash, are leaving him with hardly anything for his family, he feels desperate. The money is cleaned at 75 cents on the dollar, and there's also a 17% fee on top of that. Walt decides to spend a few days doing nothing but making more meth. He tells Skyler he's going to visit his mom for a long weekend to cover up why he's gone. He then convinces Jesse to help him for those days. At first, Jesse doesn't want to because he had a date planned in Santa Fe with Jane, but Walt says they have to use all their methylamine before it goes bad, so Jesse cancels his plans to help. After Jesse picks up the extra supplies and grabs Walt from the airport, they head out to the desert in the RV to cook. Walt tells Jesse to leave the keys somewhere safe, but Jesse leaves them in the ignition without realizing it's draining the battery. After a few days of cooking, Walt figures they've made almost $1.2 million worth of meth. The generator runs out of gas, and Walt wants to refill it and keep working, but Jesse talks him into taking a break and finding a hotel for the night. When they try to start the RV, they discover the battery is dead. They try to siphon gas from the RV to the generator to jumpstart it, but some gas spills and it catches on fire. Jesse uses all their drinking water to put the fire out. Stuck, Jesse suggests calling Skinny Pete for help using Walt's phone. Even though Walt knows Skyler might see the call on his phone records, he lets Jesse do it. Jesse tries to give Skinny Pete directions, but they're not sure if Pete got everything right. When he doesn't show up, they call him again and find out he's way off the mark just before the phone dies. Walt takes apart the generator and tries to charge the RV's battery by hand cranking it. It works for a moment, but the battery dies again quickly. Feeling defeated, Walt becomes sad and starts suffering from heat exhaustion. Jesse notices that Walt thinks he's going to die, especially when Walt starts coughing up blood. Walt feels like he deserves it because he's been lying to his family for so long. Jesse doesn't give up though and tries to lift Walt's spirits. This gives Walt an idea to build their own battery using what they have in the RV. The homemade battery gives them enough power to start the RV, and they manage to drive back to Albuquerque. Jesse drops Walt off at the airport and promises him that if anything happens to Walt, his family will still get their share of the money. Walt and his family go back to the doctor the following week, and they get some surprising news. Walt's cancer is in remission, and it has shrunk by 80%. The growth Walt thought he saw was just swollen tissue in his lung, and the blood he coughed up was from a small tear in his esophagus, which will heal over time. Walt's family is overjoyed, celebrating the good news, but Walt, deep down, feels trapped. He has an angry outburst in private, realizing that his lies and his secret drug business won't end now that he's not dying. To be continued. Make sure you don't miss what happens next. Hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay tuned.